Hey Siri, how many pages of my book should I read today? Good morning besties, welcome to another vlog. Today's video is going to be a spoiler-free reading vlog. I have decided that this week I'm going to let Siri choose the amount of pages that I read each day for the week. I'm going to need to test what she's roughly going to give me first, because if she gives me like 10 pages, I'm easily going to be able to do that. So I might need to give her like a range of pages to choose from. So we'll try test her, but I do want to give a little bit of a rundown of currently what I'm reading, because I am in the middle of two books and I want to include them in this vlog, but I also want to give you pre-warning, I most likely will not be finishing these books in this vlog. So I will include my thoughts and opinions of like what's happening throughout, but I will not be finishing it. Most likely we'll move on to the next vlog, so I just want to try and get it done slowly over the month. And if you haven't already guessed by what I'm saying now, and obviously I did choose them for my June TBR, the tandem read. I'm currently only a couple chapters into Empire of Storms, which I have read over the last couple of days while I've been editing a lot more than usual. So far, I thought we were going to be having a slow start. We're like 4 chapters in and like a whole war has broken out, so it's going to be a very interesting ride. Besides those 2 books, I don't have any other books that I want to be reading at this stage. I don't know what I want to pick up, but I do know that I want romance. Romance. Like, I need some romance for at least the next couple weeks. Let's start with testing Siri firstly. So, hey Siri, how many pages of my book should I read today?
Sorry, I can't help with that. You can learn more about logging your health data with Siri at apple.com.
Hey Siri, how many pages of a book should I read today?
I found this on the web.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's just tell her to choose a number. Today I want to try and push myself a little bit because I've just finished all my editing, so I've got some spare time today. Let's say between 50 and 250. 250 would be a big stretch for me, but we'll do it. Hey Siri, choose a number between 50 and 250.
The answer is 240.
Shit. I set myself up, but I'm gonna do it. Am I gonna reach that? Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna set myself up with a forfeit. If I do not reach that number, whatever amount I have left over that I needed to reach, so say if I read 150 pages of the 240, the 90 pages that I don't read, I have to double for the next day on top of what Siri's going to give me. That is a forfeit. And I've just set myself up for failure for this entire week. I've set myself up for failure this entire week now. And do you know what? I'm going to do it. 240 pages today. Okay, it is a Tuesday. It is 11 in the morning. So I'm gonna read now, and then I've got Pilates at 6:30 tonight. I do have some household cleaning, but I might just see if I can find the audiobook. That might be how I get through it. Audiobook. These are books currently on my TBR. So I do have Business Casual, Rewitched, and Funny Feelings. A book that's been on my radar at the moment is Unsteady. I really want to read this, so I'm gonna add this to the pile. Here are 2 books which aren't romance books, which I'm gonna probably keep on my radar for this month. The North Wind and also How to Leave the House. They've been sent to me by publishers, which I do need to read. They came out, I think, last month. I mean, it is Pride Month, so I wouldn't mind like reading some gay romances, so maybe in memoriam. Don't know why I called this a romance. I don't believe this is romance. I think it's just a literary fiction with a subplot of gay romance. Or I do have Paradise Problem and The Summer I Destroyed You. Now that is just way too many books for me to be choosing from. I'm gonna need to think about this. I'm gonna come back. You'll see in the next clip what book I've chosen. The song's been on repeat. I've just about to start cleaning and I was like, I'm gonna put on an audiobook, and I just realized I forgot to mention the other book I'm in the middle of. So I'm currently in the middle of Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart, and I'm listening to the audiobook version. It is like my walking slash cleaning audiobook that I've got going on, so I'm about to do my clean, go for a walk with my dog, and I'll probably listen to this. So I am at chapter 7. I've just got to 123. So I will count the pages in here for how much I listen to as well for today. Currently for this book, I would say that this is more of a literary fiction. I don't even know how to describe it because it's just been really sad this entire time. So far, it's basically been him going on like a camping trip with his mum's friends and how he's been put in some precarious situations with these friends on this camping trip, what his sister's going through, how him and his sister's relationships are, him and his mum's relationships. I'm hoping at the end of this book we do find Mungo finding his sense of place in the world and maybe finding his person, which obviously it seems like it's going to be a romance involved with what the cover is showing. Obviously being Pride Month as well, I'm definitely going to try and get this done this month. It's something that I'm looking and aiming to finish. I am enjoying it. I just don't know if the audiobook was the right way for me. I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook, get it done, see how I feel, and then maybe I might go back and reread the physical book because it has so many raving reviews that I'm just like, maybe it's the audiobook that's holding me back. We'll see. I'll keep you updated with this one too. I take back everything that I said about the Young Mungo book. How I was listening to it in the last maybe week and a half, I was listening to it maybe half an hour to 45-minute slots each time I went for a walk. But today I decided to put it on while I was cleaning a lot more and just now going for a walk with the dog. I put my hands up and I say I was wrong. This book is so good. I don't think I was giving it a proper chance at the start. Like, I'm obsessed. I can't stop listening. So much is going on with young Mungo and his life. What is happening while he is away camping, what's happening with his friends, his new best friend James, which now I'm at chapter 18. So I did start I think at like chapter 7. So I'm already 11 chapters in. I've probably got like 3 hours left of this audiobook. I may be finishing it tonight. Let me see how many pages I've currently done. I'm almost at chapter 19, I would say. I'm about halfway into chapter 18, but once I finish that and I'm up to chapter 19, I'll be at page 264. So I've almost done my 250 pages. I need to finish this book. It's so intense because what we're getting is like 2 almost different timelines with the book. Douglas Stewart, he is a mastermind at storytelling, the way he's able to portray a story. I have nothing to say because it's that good. Yeah. Incredible. I'm really excited to continue on with this story. But anyway, I've got 100 pages to go before tonight and it is 4:25. Hey lovies, it is 9:30 at the moment. I'm sorry if you can hear everyone inside my house, but I just wanted to quickly check in before I go to bed. But I finished it. I will tell you all of my thoughts tomorrow, but I wanted to let you know how many pages I read. Starting at page 122, I thought it was 123, but it was actually 122. And I read all the way through to page 390, which is obviously the final page for this book. So let me just quickly do some math. That is a total of 268 pages that I read today. Definitely hitting the 240 mark that I was meant to meet, so a win's a win. I'm very happy, but I will check in with you tomorrow about this book. Sorry that it's so backlit right now. That was probably very terrible lighting. Yeah, I really liked this book. Probably thinking about a 4-star, but I'm not sure yet, so I'll let you know. I think the last clip you saw was me signing out for the night last night, and I did complete the amount of pages that I needed to do. I did above that, which I'm very happy, and I was able to finish a book, so the first book for the video. I know I did pick up Business Casual, which it is sitting over there. I'm gonna start that today. This audiobook hooked me from the moment I started listening yesterday, and then I just couldn't put it down. I needed to know what was gonna happen with young Mungo. Where do I begin? I would say, if you have read A Little Life, this is very similar to that with the trauma dumping, but I would say A Little Life goes more in depth and is more on page trauma dumping, as where this goes through the trauma but it doesn't actually go through the events of the trauma in literal detail like Little Life does. So if you want something that's similar to these lines, and also I think the writing in this is probably better than A Little Life, I would say. It's more lyrical in that sense, but I will say that A Little Life has messed me up to the point where I didn't even cry while reading this. I haven't cried since reading that. That's the last book I've cried to, and I read Just for the Summer in the last video I did, and I didn't even cry with that, and a lot of people did cry. So I think I'm at the point where my like trauma level from books is like even higher. So now my cry level is just like, it's unreachable now. Like I don't even know if I'll be able to cry to a book for probably the next few months. So yeah, you may cry while reading this, but if you've read A Little Life recently, you may not. I would describe this as a very raw story, but at the same time, it was very captivating, which only happened maybe at around the 30 to 40% mark for me. From that point, I just couldn't stop. So yeah, I think the first half was a little bit slow. Explaining a little bit about this book, because I don't know if I explained it that well yesterday. I want to like just backtrack a bit, give a little bit of summary just in case I have to edit out the last part. We do follow a 15-year-old young Mungo. He is the youngest of 3 siblings to an alcoholic mother. Mungo's primary sibling that he's closest to is his sister Jodie, who's 17 years old, and he is also sort of a mama's boy, I would say, in the sense of he would do anything for his mum and try and protect her and take care of her, but at the same time, the way that he is used from his mother's side of things and not really taken care of by his mother, it is very sad and emotional in that aspect. The older brother Hamish, he's out of home. He is a local gang leader for a Protestant church group which engages in like a lot of violent fights with the neighboring Catholic gang that's also in the same area. So the way that the forbidden love comes into this is a Protestant young Mungo who's been brought up in that belief falls for a young Catholic boy named James. The story is told in almost in 2 timelines of him meeting James and how his life has turned out, and then once he meets James and falls in love and people do start to unravel, you know, during a time when it's not really accepted. I think it's the 80s, I'm not 100% sure, but if you are caught in a gay relationship at that time, you will get jailed. So it is in a time like that. When people start to realize within his family of what his intentions with this boy are, they decide to send him away with 2 of the men that his mother met at her AA meeting to go on a fishing trip. And that's where the other timeline comes in. So you are following the events after he's met James and when he's on this fishing trip with these 2 strangers and what he goes through from there. And then as the story progresses, it wraps up at the end. One timeline is just leading up to the events of the fishing trip. So that is like the entire premise of this book. What I did like about the book, the prose of this book was so beautifully written and I really enjoyed that. I've just searched it up, so I wanted to double check. It was the early 1990s in Glasgow, and it is also set in a housing estate, so just as like a little background for like where this is all set in. I did also enjoy the writing once I understood and like got further into the book, because like I said, like the first 30 to 40%, I don't know if it was the audiobook. Maybe it could have been the same if I was reading the physical book, but maybe it was just me trying to understand the dialect of the characters a bit, me trying to understand the characters, me trying to understand the narrator who was telling me the story. Like I couldn't quite, he wasn't capturing my attention. Like I kept dazing off into the distance and just like I would forget that I'm listening to an audiobook while I'm walking, or I would, you know, I'd be doing something in the house and I would forget to listen because he just wasn't capturing me like it did towards the end of the book once I sort of got used to how he was talking. So that's probably a problem there. I think if you are going to listen to the audiobook and you struggle with accents, maybe not the best audiobook for you because it is a strong, thick Scottish accent. What else? I also think, yeah, maybe because it did take me so long to get into, I think that this was probably sitting more around a 4-star for me. But besides those sort of issues that I had at the start and the style of like writing that it was and the dialect, I think the way that this book flourishes was the atmospheric sense that I got from it. Like when I was reading it, I felt like I was truly part of the story and going along with it because of how well it described the surrounding areas and described the setting, and it was really good at describing like the misery aspect of this book. And another thing I really struggled with was trying to like figure out what chapters were relating to which timeline, but it didn't really clearly state that, especially with the audiobook. It will just say like the chapter number and then you'll be straight into the scene. It won't say this timeline or this many years ago or before the event or after this event happened. Like it doesn't distinguish it very easily. So that's just like another thing that I wish that the audiobook listeners had, because sometimes you're just like, wait, like what? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, they've mentioned a certain character, now we're in this timeline. I'm gonna give this 4 stars overall. Yeah, if those things had changed, definitely could have been a 5-star read for me. I do know that Douglas Stewart has another book which also won a Booker Prize, I think, before he wrote this one. I believe this is his second novel. But his other book, I think it's Shuggy Bane. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that that's like his like most well-known one. It's from I think it's from a troubled relationship between a son and a mother, which is also again in this. I don't know if that's like a common relationship conflict that he has across all of his books. Apparently that's just even better than this one, so yeah, I might have a look into reading that one. Anyways, I've been talking for way too long. Let me put this book on the shelf. Let's talk to the old gal Siri. I'm thinking I might stick with the same amount between 50 and 250 and see what number she chooses. Yesterday was like a full day of reading, so hopefully she chooses a lower number, but I want to get lots of books read this week, so I'm gonna do that. Hey Siri, please choose a number between 50 and 250.
A random number between 50 and 250 is 213.
I did it to myself, didn't I? Fuck. I was kind of hoping she'd do 150. Alright, I better start reading. It is already 10 o'clock, so I need to chop into it now. It is like 2:30 now. I've just got back from a walk. I'm about 120 pages in. I'm at chapter 12. We've just had our first spicy scene, and for this being a Friends with Benefits trope, I'm thoroughly enjoying how much BK Borison's putting this, because I was expecting this to be like a very jump into the spice within the first few chapters. There's lots of spicy scenes throughout the book. The way she's put this together is we've had 100 pages of getting to know the characters, them flirting back and forth, there being this really great banter, them exclusively saying we're doing this once and once only. So it's going to go from this scene now to them now having their night together and then moving on and pretending like it never happened. So that's going to be really fun, but I think the characters and their personalities are really matching the situation for what it is. We do have Nora Porter. She's the local tattoo artist who's now currently just opening up her new shop, and she is sort of getting help from Charlie in a way with like the business side of things. He's helping her set up spreadsheets and just get all of that side of things set up. So they've had like a lot of communication and they know each other from this small town that they're in. And then you've got Charlie Milford, who's like this golden retriever energy. He is a businessman, he is from the city, but he is now currently staying in the small town to look after a farm while he sends some of his friends that are having a honeymoon away, and he's going to look after the farm while they're there. So there is a bit of a close proximity in a way, not really forced, because it is Charlie's decision to be in this town. So he's got this golden retriever energy, and Nora has this black cat energy. So there is the grumpy sunshine trope almost in a way. I wouldn't say Nora is grumpy though. I think she's just a hard shell to crack. I think the com in this rom-com is coming because that sounded wrong. I am laughing out loud, giggling, kicking my feet up in the air, all of it. From reading this book and from reading Just for the Summer recently, I found out there is a thing that I like in a man, in a book boyfriend. It is a very niche trope. Do not judge me. It is a man who loves an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not going to elaborate on that any further. I said what I said. We do also get with Charlie some ADHD representation, and we do have texting and messages. You guys know how much I love these. There's a lot of text messages, and they're now getting flirty text messages, but in like a I did not just say quirky. Like a little quirky way. No, they're just flirty text messages, but in their own special banter that they have. Really liking the setup. I was nervous about going into this just purely because of the Friends with Benefits trope. It's not usually my favorite. I'm excited to see how this all plays out. It is 5:30. I've just made it to chapter 19, which is page 218, and I've just hit my goal for today. So that was 213 off the top of my head. I'm actually really thoroughly enjoying this book, so I'm going to keep reading tonight, and I will check in with you tomorrow with my thoughts. Happy Thursday. I want to check in and let you know that I did finish Business Casual yesterday, which is so new for me because I swear I've not finished a book in one day in a very long time, and usually it would be like I would read half the book one day, half the book the next day, but it would be in a 24-hour period, as where this was more like a 12-hour period. I don't know what was in this book, but it was not letting me put it down. I couldn't stop reading it. I think maybe I've just found my spark for reading again, which has been so good. I still don't know how I feel 100% about it because last night I I did have a little teary eye when I finished the book. When I'm like reflecting back on the story now this morning, I'm finding that their relationship was a lot of physical, which obviously it is the friends with benefits trope. When I think back about like what they actually connected on as a couple together, I don't really know what those things are. So I've got to really like think back on the book and just like try and remember, because I feel like I've taken it all in too fast and now I just need to process it all. So yeah, I'm gonna probably give my review for this at the end. I thought let's choose how many pages I'm going to be reading today. So we'll ask Siri and then I need to choose the book I'm going to start today because I have no idea what one I want to choose. And today I want to get some editing done as well as also just some reviews on my Goodreads. So I'm hoping to get a smaller amount of pages. So I'm probably going to do between 50 and 200 pages and hope that we get on the lower side. Fingers crossed. Hey Siri. Can you pick a number between 50 and 200?
A random number between 50 and 200 is 159.
159 pages. That is doable. I can do that. It's still not great. Like I was sort of hoping for 100 pages, but I'm happy. Like I can still do a little bit of reading today, do what I need to do this afternoon, also go to my appointments and classes that I have at the gym, and then also read tonight. So I'll have plenty of time. So I still have Funny Feelings and also Rewitched on my TBR. I just don't know if I'm in the mood for Rewitched, so maybe Funny Feelings could be an option. Or I do have Unsteady, which is the book I tried to read last video but I've been dying to read it, so maybe I might choose Unsteady. It's gotta be between these two. I just don't know which one yet, so I'll show you guys in the next clip what I've chosen. It may not even be these books. I'm so tired today. My Pilates class really took it out of me yesterday. My body is like aching. Probably gonna have a slow day today. Stick to doing some editing and also maybe film one video. Yesterday I was go all day to the point where I was only 70 pages into Funny Feelings and I was like, oh, it is 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I need to get a move on. So I put my audiobook on 2x speed, was reading along with it. It got to the point in the night where I was like, I don't need to read the book, I can just lay here and listen. And then I think I was listening and I was like, I've got to get to chapter 18. That is exactly where point for me getting up to the pages. Let me check where I got to. Chapter 17. Let's go back. Oh, it's only a few pages. I got up to page 147. I was so close. But I don't even remember the last couple chapters. Like I'm trying to think what did I even listen to, because I was probably half asleep. So that's not a good thing. I probably need to just go back and refresh my memory. I was just typing in my notes for how many pages that I didn't get to. I've got 12 pages that I missed yesterday. So that means I'll have 24 pages added on to my total today. Yeah, I don't think I gave any thoughts for Funny Feelings yet. I'm not loving it. I'm just not connecting at all. So a little bit of background. So this is Marley. She is a comedian. Her manager is Maya. He is 10 years her senior, so there is an age gap and it is a workplace relationship because of the management. That's one thing I don't like, is like him being the manager of her and then also now her wanting to fake date him. I don't know, I find that a bit weird. I do like the single dad trope in here because he is a parent of a deaf child and there is a lot of ASL representation in here as well for that, so that's really nice to see. I don't know, I've tried reading this book previously and I didn't get through very far, and I feel like this time again it's been like a really slow start, but it is building up more. So yeah, we will see. They're just starting the fake dating now and things are starting to blur a bit, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna go on a walk, but I will let you guys know a better update once I've woken up with some sunlight. I just got back from the walk and I realized I didn't even ask Siri how many pages I'm meant to be reading today, and I just continued listening to my audiobook like nothing had happened. So I need to get that number and then we can add it to my little notes app. I'm gonna probably set the range again between 50 and 250 like we originally did. Hey Siri, choose a number between 50 and 250.
A random number between 50 and 250 is 173.
There we go. I'm reading 173 pages plus the pages that I didn't read yesterday, 6 pages that I hadn't read, so that means I double it to 12 pages today. On top of 173. Oh my god, I've forgotten what it was. I think it was 173 pages. I'm gonna have to watch this recording back because I actually just completely mind blanked. And how do you go back to Siri? Anyway, I'll figure it out, but that's how many pages plus the 12 for the 6 pages that I missed yesterday. Happy Saturday, besties. I've been out shopping all day today. I've just got back and it is 5:52 in the evening. So it is a late one at the moment and I've not even had any reading time today. I will catch you up with what happened yesterday and how miserably I failed. So that's going to be lovely. So I was meant to read 173 pages plus the 12 pages from the day prior that I didn't meet. I got up to page 285 from my current start page that day, which was 147, because that was the day prior where I finished. So it was a total of 138 pages. I did well, but I didn't meet that 185. It was a leftover amount of 47 pages. So that means today I'll be reading an extra 94 pages. Luckily tonight I don't have much to go and I probably got like 15 pages left of this. So I will finish this and then I will be getting onto reading some of my Throne of Glass for the tandem read. That's probably what I'm going to do tonight. That's all my plans. So I'm hoping I don't get too many pages because it will be a long night and I don't think I'll make it. We will try. It is a Saturday night, so it's not like I've got plans. Let's ask Siri for the last time this week how many pages I need to read today. I think I'm going to say between 50 and 200. Do you know what? I might even go from 0 to 200 because if she gives me 45 pages plus the 94, I will be very happy. Hey Siri, can you choose a number between 0 and 200? Why is it not showing? Oh my god, it's gone. It said 4. I swear it said 4. It was blurry, but you could see it. It said 4. Do I count that? Is that too easy? Because then it's 98 pages I have to read today. No, I'm going to do it a second time, but if it's a really high number, then I'm going to use the first one because I'm a cheater. Hey Siri, choose a number between 0 and 200. It said 144. I'm going to stick with 4. So we're reading 98 pages today. Why am I such a cheat? It's the last day of the week and it's Saturday and it's miserable and gloomy outside and I just want to go to sleep. The week started off so strong. I'm sorry guys, I'm really trying today, but I just know those extra pages, it's not gonna happen. I know I haven't given you my final thoughts on this book yet because I've not quite finished and I've not really given you guys much of an update about this book so far. My thoughts aren't good. I'm not really enjoying it. It feels like it's putting me in a slump. It's not capturing me. I don't care. I don't want to read about it. That is so sad to say because I had such high hopes for this and it's just not hitting for me. I'm almost done and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts for this book. So. This is always like my final check-in spot, but it feels right. Let's go through all of the books I have read this vlog and I'll give my final thoughts. I don't think I've given my final thoughts for Funny Feelings and you would have seen a small clip as me of reading a little bit of the tandem read, but I honestly didn't read too much of it, so I'll probably just give you guys a quick little rundown of what I've read. I don't even think that will be much, so I'll just probably say how many pages I read of that. Let's go through the first day, which was a Tuesday. I was meant to read 240 pages and I read 268 that day, which was me midway through Young Mungo and then also finishing Young Mungo with the audiobook as well as also hybrid reading. I ended up giving this a 4-star rating. I think I stuck with the same rating that I gave at the start of the week. I think it was really lovely. The start was a little bit slow. It does take a little bit to build up for me personally and figure out what was happening with the timelines, where things were, who was who, and trying to, I don't know, just get the gist of the actual vibe story of this book. Towards the end, it was so gripping to the point that I couldn't put it down. Highly recommend this book if you are in the state of mind to handle it. It's definitely a sad book. The writing in this is beautiful and you will enjoy every second of it. So yeah, highly recommend. 4 stars. On Wednesday, I did read Business Casual from start to finish. That is page 1 through to 357. Young Mungo is probably a little bit more challenging. The text in here is a little bit more tiny, a little bit more, you have to pay a little bit more attention to everything that's happening and what's being said, as where this obviously is just very fast and easy. And like I said, the com in this was rom-comming and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm still stuck between whether I'm going to give it a 4.5 or a 4, but I do know what, I think I'm just going to give it a 4.25. I enjoyed it so much that even within the first few chapters, I knew I was going to be finishing it that same day. It was truly so good. Nova and Charlie were so cute, so funny. I really enjoyed their relationship dynamic. If you haven't already read the Love Light Farm series, which I actually haven't, I was just sent this book and now I'm going to go back and read the other books from the Love Light Farm series because this was so well written that I need to read the others. You do get the small town vibe in here, you get to meet everyone, there's a really good sense of like found family, I would say, amongst this entire small town, so it was really fun to read. And yeah, I just want to go and meet all the other couples now, read their stories. Are you okay? You got coughs. Yeah, it was just a really good sense of found family in here, so I do want to read the other books and just, you know, be part of this world a bit more. Yeah, if you haven't already read this series or if you've not heard of it, you can still read this as a standalone. Again, it is a one-night stand, no strings attached type of thing, but it's a slow burn into that, and then again, after it happens, it's a little bit more of a slow burn again. It is still spicy, but I don't think it overdid it for me. I think it was quite on that nice even playing field that you can be between. Oh, and also for this one, we were meant to reach a page count of 213 pages, so I went well above that with the 357. So Wednesday was a success. Thursday I was reading Funny Feelings. This was 159 pages that I was meant to reach. I did only reach 147, so I did need to read an extra 24 pages the following day because I didn't reach this. Then on the Friday I was meant to read 173 pages plus the 24 pages. I did only reach a total count of 138 pages for this. Still not completed, so I did have to go again into Saturday to finalize it. Saturday again was reading Funny Feelings, and that was a total of 98 pages I needed to read. I did end up reading 16 pages of this, which took me to the finish. And then I also read the tandem read, which I did read a total of 70 pages from both of these books between. So that is a total of 86 pages for my final day, which means I did not reach my goal. Total for the week is a total of 996 pages, which I think is pretty good after being in a reading slump. I'm very, very happy with that. Yeah, I'm going to give my final thoughts for Funny Feelings. I'm probably going to give this a 2.5 stars. That being because I just did not care about these characters from start to finish. I've tried reading this previously, maybe a year ago, and I ended up DNFing. The audiobook is what got me through the first maybe 15 chapters, and then I was hybrid reading, and then from maybe about 70% onwards, I was just reading the book physically. I just did not care. I don't understand why I wasn't connecting. I don't know, I was just feeling myself going into a slump while reading it, and that to me is a bad sign. All I can truly say is that I was just bored and I was waiting for this to be over. I mean, I read those other books in one day. This took me 3 days and it's only 301 pages. So that says something because it could have been such a quick and easy, fast read for me. I could have done this in one day, but I was just spreading it out. I was truly dreading picking it up, and that's why as the days went on, each day when I woke up to read, I would be like, all right, I'll start in a couple of hours. Oh no, I'll start later on in the afternoon. And then it would get to like the evening and I'm like trying to fix all my reading in because I just pushed it out so much. Like I didn't want to go and reach for this book. I wasn't feeling it. I was not captured by this book. And another thing, like this is meant to be a book about comedians, and I did not laugh out loud once. Not once. I laughed more while reading this book, and I laughed more while reading other books that are more rom-commy. This did not make me laugh once. Even like when she was on stage trying to make her jokes, I didn't laugh once at them. And I also found them to just like, when I'm like trying to picture her on stage saying these jokes and like the audience's reactions, I just could not picture it. I could not understand the funny aspect to it, and I just could not figure out the way she was putting that across. But then also again, I'm like, other books I read always make me laugh out loud, and I can understand like the way it's being said because of like how the authors described that statement. It didn't do that for me. Like I'm like, that was not funny. Yeah, anyway, you know my thoughts about this, 2.5 stars. Again, I didn't read that much of this and I'm dreading it. It is going to be what I'm reading next week, so just watch out for the vlog for this because I will be tackling this throughout the entire week. I will be starting this today. I'm literally about to finish this vlog and start a new vlog with these. So yeah, my thoughts will probably be mentioned in that vlog. So let's wrap up this vlog here because you guys have been watching for so long and I do appreciate you guys when you are watching my long vlogs because I know I talk a lot, I ramble, and I'm very sorry because sometimes I say the same thing over and over again and I have to edit it out so many times, so I apologize if this has been a little bit long-winded for this vlog. If you guys do have any ideas of any types of videos you would like to see for me in the future, I have got quite a few listed down at the moment, but if there's anything that you think that I should film before those other videos, let me know, because if we've got the same ideas, that's even better. But if you give me some new ideas, at least I can keep it a little bit more fun and interesting. One last comment before I go. I'm almost finished with my entire TBR this month. You guys will be so proud of me. I've just got the tandem read, which I will be focusing on this week, and then one other book. And I am going away on holiday next week. I'm going to Barcelona in Spain, so I may take it with me there while I'm on holiday because that could just be my one book that I try and get through. And then I will be done for the whole month. Like, I have never finished my TBR before. That's just one point that I want to point out because I've been so good. Anyways, I'm going to end the vlog here, but I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in my next video.